Starting from there, then I realized 3D is this new illusion. It should not be just used as film gimmicks and action movies, because it's still expensive. Anything new, expensive action movie will do it first. The hacks, so to speak. The big motion, things with no artistic value will get to try it first. So people didn't have high opinion about that. But I think differently. I think it's time we should introduce that and legitimize it as an artistic media. So that's where my hair is going. But it took me a long time to persuade the studio, because we'll add about 25 million US dollars as a cost. It's very hard to shoot, and the post-production is tedious. I persuade them that's worth it, because they think this is a literature property. Why would you want to do 3D? So unlike most of the time, the studio push directors to use 3D. This is the opposite. I persuade them that 3D with this movie is a big risk, but 2D with this movie, even though it's cheaper, but it's just simply a bad idea, and we struggle for a long time. There's a lot of mistrust, including my mistrust to the media. For a long time, I don't know what I'm seeing. It was very confusing. It's a new media. And I hope the 3Ds you see today, that's encouraging. I think we've come to a new era. We've got to see movie with two eyes, like with a perspective that's different than a flat screen you create perspective from there. Easy. It's like a breeze. Well, his part is difficult. It's not a question of Indian Castle. Well, you put anybody there, you put the world's greatest actor there, everybody have a hard time, because he provides not only narration that should engage the story, but also the conclusion, which is philosophical and emotional. Movie is emotional, right? Unlike the book. So how do you say those philosophical points with emotion, but it can be examined from different angles? That cubicle sort of acting is, I was guessing too, but I hope you should ask him how difficult is it to work with the Taiwanese director of an Indian film. But otherwise, they're wonders. Tabu is as any great actress and movie star I ever worked with, and that's a true young talent. Actually, he carries the movie for a long time. It takes about 6 months to shoot. There are 3 months we're doing the ocean part. Every shot is him, and we shoot in order because he has to lose weight, and we have to do a parallel journey like pies. We all go through the journey. Not only is always dependable, he's always available every minute of it. It's very hard for anybody to do, let alone 17-year-old boy, Indian or not. He became the spiritual leader for all of us. We gathered some best filmmakers in the world, very sophisticated, but actually we're following him because it's about him. Every shot is him. Everybody's telling him what to do, but eventually he leads everybody. So he's really the spiritual leader and carrying the movie, which is a journey for himself. And Shravanti is a sheer pleasure. She's from here. She played a dancer and plays love interest. It's not in the book, by the way, but Yamatel likes that. It's like, 16-year-old boy, what was I thinking? I think about all those philosophical points. Of course, it's a 16-year-old. 90% of his lifetime is thinking about girls. That's his new religion. So I have vivid dancing and love interest scene, puppy love, if you will, in 70s Pondicherry style. Very shy, something we're not familiar with anymore. Shyness, and it's a true innocent beauty that we found is local talent. I was very lucky to work with them. It's a brilliant, brilliant Indian cast. I've been lucky on that front.
I'd like to ask a question, sir. I am Suraj's aunt, and I would like to know, you have worked with so many acclaimed actors, all talented people, you have directed so many people, and now this new young boy. So how do you find, what is the difference? Is it easier, or what is your experience in working with new talent versus those who know who have been in the field for so long?
For Suraj. Suraj never acted in a movie. Actually, he never acted before. I'm sorry I had to keep bringing this up, but he didn't even went to the audition. His younger brother did. He was too young. And the casting director said, "You, over there, come on. Can you read this?" And he actually got the part out of 3,000 kids. The beauty of young, innocent talents that they don't know this is not how the movie made. They thought every movie is made this way. They have no comparison, no references. Movie star, no movie star. It's the same for them, I assume. Suraj, correct me if I'm wrong. A big Hollywood movie or not, they don't know. A famous director or not, they don't know. They just they're afraid to screw up. That's all they need. So it turns out he did something quite incredible that nobody expect any actor to do. Because when we put in a big wave tank we created in Taiwan, he's all by himself. Logistically, to give him direction or supplies is very difficult. So once we set it on, it's nearly as middle Pacific Ocean. He's by himself. So take after take, he's by himself. He did everybody's job. Hair, makeup, continuity, reset props. He's doing everything by himself. We just yell at him or give him horn signals. And I gave him a 3-month training, and every 6 months of shooting days is training day for him. It's fresh. The beauty of young talent is that they're zero. You just add things. They don't have negatives. A lot of experienced actors, I have to reduce what they brought with them. So he's pretty pure in that way. It's actually in some ways easier. Halfway, once they have a grip, actually it's a pressure for the experienced one because they're supposed to act like him. Because that's what acting is about. Be innocent, be a vehicle to the plot, to the character. So there's a plus and negative, but in this case, the negative is really minimal. He just tried to give. Now, we don't tell him the other movies are not made like this. So it's the effort, the innocent, and talent. As soon as you can put him in a condition, and he will just stay there. He doesn't go out until I call cut, until we snap him out of the situation. A true talent. He did every stunt. He did every shot.
So the book, my previous experiences when a book is made into a movie is that the movie sometimes doesn't do justice. The initial reviews of this movie I came across were really glowing. I was wondering what Yann Martel had to say about the movie. I think he's seen the movie.
I hope he liked it, but to me it's not important. The story is yours now. He passed along to me, and it's a movie. It should stand by itself. And then after you've seen the movie, I'm not important. It's not my movie. It's your movie. How you play in your head. I believe I'm very loyal to the book in spirit, but making a movie, I have to make adjustments. I got his blessing early on the script for a couple of times draft, and he has comment. He tried to be filmmakers. I took some of them, not taking some of them. And then, so the structure, the idea, he really appreciated. And then at one point, I just wrote to him, let's start to pray to the movie gods. And then we did some 300 more drafts after that. And when you make a movie, you just try to make a scene work. It begins with a movie, but that's not the finishing line. We're not doing translation to the words, to cinema. So it has a life of its own. It wants to be a certain way. You have to be sensitive and just keep trying what's worked for cinema. So we took on that role. He saw it. He said he liked it. I hope he's not just being polite.
So, technically the film is mind-blowing. Technically, the film is mind-blowing. How much of the animation you have done in India?
A lot. The animation was done, spread out in America and India. So that company has two main animation department in India. One in Bombay, the other in Hyderabad. Two very important stations. Each one have like 500 member. A big portion, I don't know exactly the number. Some majority of the animation is done here, and also some rendering too, the touch-ups. So a big part is done here. I don't know, maybe they know Tiger better than anybody or something. It took a long time, like 6 months into the post-production. There's one shot, which I didn't show you here. I began to see the tiger come to life as a character. But a big proportion of the artists were here in India. That's their main source of animation.
How important is projection and feel compared to international standards?
Projection?
Projection is also important when you make a movie like this?
Very much so. That's why I'm so appreciative of this theater. I think this is one of the best in the world to me. The problem with 3D is it's just beginning. So from equipment, shooting to projection, particular projection, in a vast sense, is not up to that level yet. First, the intensity of light. It just most of the theaters around the world doesn't have even a 6-foot lamp, which is half of the 2D movies, because you have 2 cameras, 2 projectors. You have to go through 2. In the States, some are in 6-foot lamp or something in 3.5. So this is 6. This is the highest standard, and it was very bright and very clear, and the sound system is terrific. I think movies getting harder and harder. They have to be eventful because these days, people, especially young people, they have so many choices in life. They don't have, unlike how we grew up, whatever they put on, we just go to see it. It's a lot harder to bring them into the theater. So I think great projection, something you cannot watch at home, big screen, good sound system, 3D experience, share with the crowd. That would bring them back to theater. That's good for the business. I almost follow the suggestion from Fox, the technical department, that write every theater on the personal note. Some director do that. Look, this is 3.5 years, 3,000 people's effort. Please, please, please. But most of them will ignore it. It was like half as bright, some like a third of this brightness. And it was kind of crappy. It's unfortunate. That's not a real representation of our effort, of the reason why you should come to a theater. So I'm very appreciative of this. I think it's very important. It's hard to generate that kind of brightness, not just the light bulb. I think that can be improved greatly in a very short period of time. I think 3D will just get better and better, and that'll draw more business to the theater.